On the ground, Ukraine's military is holding its own, surpassing all expectations, holding off for the 20th day Russian forces pressing in on their nation's capital. But for Ukrainian defenses, the sky is the limitation. As Russian jets, rockets, and missiles continue to pound population centers with virtual impunity. On the eve of President Volodymyr Zelensky's special address to the U.S. Congress, Maxim Kozytsky, the regional governor and military administrator for the northwest region of Ukraine, tells Newsy what he hopes Zelensky will ask for. Close the skies over Ukraine and get more modern weapons, he says. Real weapons.
Is there a specific type of weapon that you are hoping that the U.S. can provide?
We're waiting for an air defense system, he says. We're waiting for rockets that we can use to destroy Russian rockets. Reports out of Kyiv indicate that Ukrainian air defenses are having some success shooting down Russian missiles. But the type of sophisticated anti-aircraft and anti-missile defense systems the Ukrainians really want are currently not in the catalog of weapons the U.S. and NATO are providing. Kozytsky repeats for a third time, Ukraine needs the modern weapons. He thinks the portable Stinger anti-aircraft missiles the U.S. is providing Ukraine are inadequate to defeat the Russians. What Ukraine does currently have did manage to knock out, he says, many of the ballistic missiles Russia fired at a Ukrainian base near the Polish border. But enough got through to kill 35 people. And if the missiles come for Lviv, the death toll could be much higher.
Do you have enough rockets right now to protect this city?
The governor says the answer depends on how massive the number of rockets.
How many is too many?
I want to ask you, how many bombs is enough to drop on New York City? 1, 2, 10, he asks. Like many Ukrainian officials, Kozytsky won't talk about the prospects of defeat or a negotiated settlement. But the reality is that this western city of Lviv may be the best option for Ukraine's government if Kyiv falls.
Your military has been fighting remarkably well in defending Kyiv. But if things don't continue to go their way, if Kyiv is sieged by Russians, what happens? How do you maintain the continuity of your government?
Don't believe Kyiv could be captured by the Russians, he says. There's no conversation about transferring the capital. Kyiv will always be the capital of Ukraine, says Kozytsky.
No matter what happens.
We will win, he says. We don't consider any other option.
Jason Bellini is on the ground in Lviv, Ukraine, covering this war. Jason, we are seeing violence migrate to western Ukraine. You're in western Ukraine. Is it safe where you are?
Hey, Chance, well, it's an interesting question, and it's interesting because we have a reminder multiple times a day, really over the last week that I've been here in this city. We hear these alarms, these blaring alarms that go off, and most people at this point are becoming desensitized to them because these air raid warnings, they, in most cases, and really all cases, have not resulted in explosions in Lviv itself. And so I spoke with the governor of this area, and he was saying that, you know, you really need to pay attention to these things, and there's a reason behind them. And what we understand is that there are planes and missiles that are heading sometimes in this direction, and so they just want to give people plenty of time to get out of the way, to seek shelter. I mean, that's what the orders are. That's what you're hearing over the loudspeaker. Seek shelter, go into a basement. But most people just aren't doing that. I think waiting to see what happens, whether this city will actually come under attack, and then the tune may change. Chance?
Jason Bellini on the ground in Lviv. I know 2 weeks ago these constant alarms didn't seem possible. Now the danger feels far too close. Stay safe.